Ole Miss is not an underdog, even close. So Dimes and them is trying to play tomorrow. Dimes and Woody. Yep. So Blaze and them prime time is 6. I still don't see a set time for Memphis Doug and VA Dimes. Because they was trying to play earlier. Talking about having a baby on a knee. So people been sending all kind of shit.
What up? What up? What up, everybody? It's your boy Brian James. Back with my guy Philly guy. What's good, Philly?
What's good, B? Let's get into these playoff games, man.
Oh man, we got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, get right into it.
Whole lot of games to be played.
Mhm.
A lot of players finding out what the fate is for their playoff hopes.
Yeah,
So
and you know what? I want to talk about that because you had mentioned it before in the chat when you talked about how you get these live updates, and we saw certain teams' names disappear
disappear.
from the playoff bracket.
Yeah,
I like that.
that was
I
awesome.
like that.
That was
Yeah, that
awesome,
was
man.
great.
So we got some things. We got some things we're gonna be talking about. We got a PS5 semi final game,
Mm-hmm.
and we got the conference championship games in Xbox going down today. So we got a lot of those games. We got a lot of those games to recap and talk about because we witnessed some of those games earlier. We just witnessed one in just now. BKP beat the crap out of Florida.
Yeah,
Florida, they seem to be a regular season team, but when the playoffs and conference championship games come around, they disappear.
well, that Ole Miss team is special.
No, yeah, for sure.
No, yeah, for sure.
For
If
sure.
you have an open style, they can play. If you run the ball, they can play. They have speed at all the important positions. They just have talent across the board. So to me, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ole Miss make a deep run. Um, BKP seems to be hitting the stride, but you know what? That's the benefit of still being in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Trade for Life still has an opportunity, to go back, see what didn't work, see what his matchup is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. But yeah, yeah, it wasn't meant to be today.
Definitely. Yeah, a lot of different things been happening. We saw a lot of different players emerge as victorious, and then a lot of players emerged as they may not be. You kind of got an idea what the playoffs hold for them when they get there. We saw VTech and MP play earlier. That was Arizona and Kentucky.
Yeah,
Kentucky was at the beginning of the season looked like they weren't even going to be third or fourth in the conference, and here they are winning the conference at the last minute in the
yeah,
conference championship. So that was quite impressive, man. That was quite impressive. So he
it
lost
was.
early to MTV famous North Carolina, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's a bad look," But he fought, scraped and clawed his way back into the playoff picture, and he went
Yeah,
from not in the playoffs to having to buy in the playoffs. That's crazy.
it is. But you know what? Sometimes that's what you need, right? You need something to give you a wake up call. Clearly, taking that L to North Carolina got him locked in and got him
No, yeah,
focused.
yeah, for sure.
And he definitely he's still hungry. I wouldn't say that he's satisfied with what he's done because obviously he thought this is where he was going to be. Didn't look like that at first, like you said. But yeah, he's hungry. Ole Miss is hungry, and yeah, I just can't wait till these brackets to finish, man. It's going to be something special. You know, this is right around the time when a lot of the draft classes are supposed to be maturing and teams are supposed to be hitting their stride, and it's looking like that. It's looking like that.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna take a quick look at the bracket right now, as it is right now. So we'll see what's going on here. All right. So MP lost earlier, so he's probably gonna fall down to maybe the 10th. No, maybe it's the 7th spot. No, he is the 7th spot right now. So
Thought he was. Get him the hell out of there and put MP in that slot.
yeah, that was it. Well, actually, it was Assassin in that slot right there.
It was, but not no more.
Yeah, he's gone. So let's see,
Get him out.
4. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's it ain't no telling who's gonna be there. We got another game, a crucial game tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna take place at 6:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll probably do a multi-broadcast or a simultaneous broadcast to get both of the semifinal game and the conference championship games in at the same time. But yeah, this is gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be very interesting to watch. We got VA Dimes and Memphis Doug on the PS5 side, and then we'll have Blaze and TG locking in as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see who emerges in these games. The VA Dimes has an opportunity. You see him alive on the Xbox side too. So he has a bye on the Xbox side. He's trying to hold that bye. He has to win the conference championship to retain that bye. So if he loses that game, you know, a lot of things may change in the bracket.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I mean, you know, the real question is when you lose late, what is that margin of defeat or that margin of victory end up looking like? Because last year, you remember what happened? You know what I'm saying? Woody was able to narrow the gap.
Yeah.
And that enabled certain people to get into the playoffs. So, you know, we don't know what happens you know, with these remaining games that we have because that point differential is everything.
No, it is. It is. And we, like I said, we saw on the PlayStation side, we saw Little Jeff, Sonny hopping with the Maryland Terrapins, whatever. They tried to go on the run and was unable to do so. And I told him yesterday he was screaming at advancing Xbox. He was like, "You guys move too slow. I thought you guys move fast." I told him, I said, "Hey, that's the least of your worries right now. You better worry about Blank Tim or Jay Savvy, whatever he's calling himself these days." And he got into that game and he got flooded. He looked like the lesser player. You know, he looked like Jay Savvy looked like a dominant player last night.
Oh yeah, he did.
So
yeah, he did. And you know, that's every time that we do a show, every time we do the playoffs, you know, you sound like a broken record because you keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, and it's like nobody that needs to listen is listening. You talk about adjustments. You talk about, you know, doing at least some scouting so you understand what you're getting into so that you can come out and you can represent yourself well. And yeah, this ain't the regular season.
No, it ain't.
This ain't the regular season. So, you know, fools rush in where wise men never go. And we see it happen all the time.
I've been telling guys all year long. I said, look, these games are important games. They're meaningful games. And I see guys just rush into these games. They say advance and they jump into the game. No preparation. You're fresh off work. You just go out there, you get willy-nilly, and you down 50 points. MP was one of those guys rushing, trying to play last night. If he had played last night, I guarantee you, the score would have been way worse than what it was.
How do you guarantee that, though?
Because you're not prepared. You go in there thinking you don't even know what you're walking into. You haven't. If Blaze hits the advance button, and then you jump right into the game, chances are you didn't look at no rosters. You didn't look at no depth charts to see what the matchups were. You didn't do anything. You just jumped into that game blindly, and you're just assuming that whatever you're running can't be stopped and you're going to win the game. And that was not the case. He was boxing the entire first half.
Okay, but these are the conference championships. Like they've played each other before.
They played each other before. What I'm saying is you assume that's even more like you want to add new wrinkles in going into these games because it's a familiar opponent. That's what I would think. Like when I would go into these games, it'd be like, okay, let me add something different to my game plan that this person hasn't seen because this is gonna be my second time playing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. He said I got 2 streaks versus him because I knew I wanted to go at his cornerback 25. He was only 91 speed, and I knew that. You knew that. He didn't know that. He didn't know that.
No,
he didn't. No. I'm sure he wasn't even aware of that mismatch.
Nope.
You know, you did everything the right way. You knew everything on this team. You did your homework. You knew, okay, this 91's over here. This is the mismatch. This is the guy we're gonna target. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you jump into it. I see guys jumping, rushing to playoff games, and then they get slaughtered. Now, if it's a rush, like we on the second day now, going into the third day or something like that, then that's different. But if you jump into a game, the first 10 minutes of an advance, chances are it's not going to go the way you thought it was going to go. If you haven't done your homework. VTech did his homework, so I can see why he was eagerly awaiting the advance. He knew the mismatches. But me, personally, when I have a guy that's eagerly waiting to play me, I'm going to make him wait because clearly he knows something I don't know. Like, if you're eager to get in the game that quick, you know something I don't know. So I'm going to make you wait, and we're going to figure out what it is that you know. Let me go look at my team and figure out where the weaknesses are, and then we'll play. But, guys don't care. So
and that's unfortunate because, just the fact that he mentioned that, you know what I'm saying? He already knew how he wanted to attack.
No. See, VTech saying that he knew his. He said, "I know my opponent's roster better than they do at kickoff."
Yep.
That's very much so. We had a situation where I think it was Wisconsin and MP. They didn't want to. They were trying to play each other, and Wisconsin was like, "Yo, I want to actually do my homework because last time I played you scored 70 points on me or something like that." So MP was trying to rush him to play. He didn't rush. He didn't play him right away. They played later, and the game was closer than expected. You know what I mean? So that's why I said, like, I get it. Sometimes guys want to wait. Other guys want to play. But I would recommend, if you haven't done your homework, don't rush into a game. Another thing. Right now is the perfect opportunity to go ahead and examine your teams for the next season. Look at who your juniors and your seniors are, what positions that you need to recruit for. I think guys just recruit for the stars. They look at the stars and just recruit by the stars. And there are players that you can get, like, that aren't 4-star players, that are actually great players that end up turning into great players. My quarterback, I got him when we first started the season, maybe the first season. I got him literally got him the first season. He was a 3-star. But when I recruited him, he ended up being a 93 speed quarterback. I ended up using this dude the first 2 seasons when my team had a better O-line and defense and things like that. Yeah. But he led us to multiple conference championships. This is his last year. He's out of here. But, it was, you have to do your recruitment based on that. So now I have to find his replacement. I already have his replacement. He played a little bit this year. We saw what he could do with his arm strength. He's a great passer. Not the best mobile quarterback, but he can throw. You know what I mean? He can throw well. You know what I mean? So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you get your team in position and in line for the future. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of dynasties, you don't know if they're going from year to year, but this dynasty is going to go all the way into not Madden 26, college football 26. So we doing it the long haul. We got enough players. We got enough players on the waiting list. So this is going to go on for a long time. So if you plan on playing, participating, if you join and plan for the future. Guys came in and they want to say, oh, I can't play with this team. Team doesn't have anything. Recruit. That's the whole point of college. Like, you coming in, you taking over a new school, you building and shaping them to play your style of football. That's all it is. It's building your team up, shaping them up to play your style of football. And I see guys having trouble doing that. Let's go to recruiting right now. Let's go to recruiting right now. Let's check it out. Let's go right
Let's
here.
go, because we've been talking about that. You know what I mean? We may be in the same conference, but we view things very similar.
No, so
And
let's go to top classes. Let's go to top classes, right? Me, I had the best season. Had a great recruiting year though. Top of the class. In one of the best recruiting classes right now. Got us 5 stars, 11 4 stars, and we cleaning up with the 3 stars. But we're doing a thorough job in examining talent and figuring out who deserves to be on the roster, who doesn't.
Yes.
Keep in mind, you don't want to fill up your roster because you also have the transfer portal that's going to happen. If you gave away all 35 of your scholarships when the transfer portal comes, you won't have any scholarships to give out. Simple as that. So you want to make sure you have some open slots. Me, I think I got 2 open slots, maybe 2 or 3. But I'm about to start going through these players and seeing which ones I really don't need, like based on team needs and things like that. So there's something on here called team needs where you can hit the right stick in, whether it's Xbox or PS5, and it'll tell you what your team needs. It'll highlight it in red. It'll say need and how many things of that position that you need. You know what I mean? Use this tool, man. It's a resourceful tool for recruiting. It tells you what you need. It grades you, gives you a good grade, lets you know your overall and things like that. It also lets you know who's leaving and what you got left. You know what I mean? So make sure you use that tool. You see, I got a senior right here, right tackle, senior leaving. We don't have anybody else to help to play that position. There's nobody else there. He's the only one there at that position. So that means that we're either going to have to move guys from a different position or we're going to have to bring guys in through recruitment. So, like I said, make sure you guys use the tools that are available to you to build your team up. But I want to show you another thing. Let's talk about the guys that aren't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Auburn. That's a user. No recruit. Not one. Not one recruit. Not one damn recruit. I think Auburn's in the SEC, right?
I think so.
How do you expect to compete in the league? So what that tells me is next season, your chances are we're gonna be looking for a new Auburn user because he didn't do not one lick of recruiting. That's how we know who to replace. You know what I mean? Let's see who else. Michigan.
Yeah, go. Talk about Michigan because we brought them up.
Michigan has been crying for 4 seasons that he can't get recruits. He can't do anything, and this is what season 5 going into season 6.
Yeah,
and here he is right now, 3 recruits. My team is not getting better. I'm not doing anything. Nothing's happening for me. Where are your recruits at? What are you doing to recruit? You're in a 32-man user dynasty, and you aren't recruiting. But you're complaining about how bad your team is. I don't know. You know what they do? This is what they do. They go to prospects, boom, and they all go here, 5-star. They go there, 5-star, and they all go down, and they looking. These are the guys they want. They say, who can I get from here? I need more 5-stars left, right? So then they go down to 4-star, and they start going down that list. Who can I get? Where's it at? Where's the action at? You know what I mean? And it's not easy. It's not easy getting 4 stars.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? Then they go here. Oh, man, all they got left is 3 stars. Keep in mind, 3 stars with a diamond is a 4, maybe a 5-star. But if you haven't done your due diligence in finding out if they are a diamond player, then you won't know. You will never know. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind that Arkansas team that Dimes has now, there was no 5-star players on that roster. There were no 5 or 4-star players. There were 3 and 2-star players, all of them. Powder did a great job of developing those players and things like that for them to become what they were. But they were 3, 2, and maybe a few 4-stars. But there were no 5-star players on that roster, and he did a great job. And look at Dimes. Dimes got him in the playoffs now. So it comes down to your user skill and all that. But what do you got to say about it, Philly?
I mean, there's nothing to argue. You talked about it when we were going over the playoff games. We were talking about the differences in the conferences. So when you have an opportunity, especially if you are an elite program, especially if your team won the championship before the game came out.
Yeah, yeah. That's
You
that's
know,
even, that's even
you
crazier.
have a lot of things. You have a lot of things that are going to naturally be in your favor. So, not to browbeat the issue, but like you said, there's a reason that you have to pay attention to the 3 stars and what their development traits are and what they can bring to the table, because you're competing in a 31 man league because you're the 32nd person. And if you're trying to build your scheme and your team, well, it should have started when you picked your team to begin with. You know what I mean? So if you're a pass heavy team, why would you pick Michigan? Michigan is not a pass heavy
Now,
team.
now
It's
this
going to take a lot for you to change that squad, but you have to recruit to do so.
and this is the crazy part. There's gonna be a lot of games tonight, Fuego. But this is what you have to keep in mind too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to start. I'm gonna give you a quick tip. Say for instance you're Michigan, right? You want to
Yes.
start close to home, right? Because there's a thing called proximity to home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a trait. There's a trait that the players have that they want to be close to home when they play. So if you are in Michigan or you're somewhere near the Michigan area, you know, you can just search for players in that area, and you will have first dibs on those players because they're in your region. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you get out there and you just grabbing whatever you see and you're not even checking for what's even available in your backyard, you're lost. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys they say, "Oh, how do you got?" I started in Pennsylvania first. Like we starting at home. We're gonna take whatever. Y'all not gonna come over here and take the best players out of our backyard. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get the best players in our backyard. People say, "Oh, how you get 5 stars to recruits to commit right away?" It's because we starting at home. We ain't going out. We ain't in Florida looking for nobody. We starting in our backyard. Everybody that want to come here, they grew up watching Penn State. They want to come see Penn State play, and they want to play for Penn State. So we start at home. You know what I'm saying? And then once we get everybody that we want from our area, then we start branching out. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what the team need or the position need is that we need. But that's what you want to do, man. You want to start. You want to. I'm giving y'all the game. I'm not gonna give y'all the little secrets, but but it's other little secrets that people been using to get recruits and things like that. But also your coaches matter. The traits you
Yes.
give them matter, and things
Yes.
like that. So make sure you guys use your points. I don't know if you guys know what those points are, but those are your coaching points. You guys can use those points to get things to help you recruit, make the recruiting process a little bit easier, and the scouting process a little bit easier. So, that's all I'm saying. I recommend you guys use those tools that are available to you and things like that, man. But I don't know. How you feel about it, Philly?
I mean, I feel pretty good about it now that the I think we need maybe 2 more people to get drafted, and then be able to unlock some other things. And like you said, some of those, whether you have motivator, it doesn't matter. Like what your coach is, you have to be mindful of what's available to you, and you got to have a game plan. And I'm sorry, but it's no different than Madden. You have the coaching trees in Madden. This is no different. This is no different. So if you want to get those speed boosts or anything else like that, you gotta use your coaching points, and you gotta pick the right skill sets so you can have a nice off season.
Also,
You
too,
know.
man, you like I said, the type of players you get are your players that were willing to come to your school is also based on the scheme that your coach is. So you want to make sure your coach's scheme matches the players that you're trying to get. And if you don't have the right coordinators, make sure you go out and get the right coordinator. So if you want to run a 3-4, or you want to run a 4-3, make sure and you need the players that fit that scheme. I want to recruit the players that fit that scheme. Make sure you got the right coordinator, because those things, all those type of things, go hand in hand. It's a lot of different nuances in the game, and that's what separates this from Madden. We watch, like I told you, we watched TG win a college tournament full of Madden players,
Yes.
and they couldn't understand. They call, oh, he's running cheese, he's running this, he's running the bubble gum. It's not bubble gum. He ran real football concepts at you, and you don't understand why they're working. Let's just call it a spade, and that's what happens with majority of when you have Madden players come over to college and things like that. Some of them are good, some of them can play, a lot of them can. You know what I'm saying? But there are a few that are considered the elite players, and they don't like college because they say it's too unpredictable. That's not the case. It's that you can't run the exact same stuff over and over and over and over and over again. Or they don't know how to stop the stuff that people run over and over and over again. You know what I mean? It's because they
Yeah.
don't understand positions, run fits, things like that, and different things like that. You know, so when you understand the RPOs and all that different stuff like that, and things like that, then it makes you a better player. You know, a lot of these guys don't know how to stop an RPO. Too many RPOs in college. You know, so and we saw what they did to RPOs in Madden. You know,
Yeah, we did.
yeah. So it is what it is. So, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, shout out to
So
everybody that's tuned in right now.
so
Appreciate your viewership.
let's go back to that.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about getting players that match your scheme,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where do you go and find that?
Well, it's right there on the thing. It's right there to tell you, pass protector. Uh, if you want to say, for instance, you want a defensive end, right?
Mm-hmm.
You run the 3-4. You're not gonna want a power rusher. You're not gonna run a speed rusher at defensive end. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna want somebody that can. You're gonna want a run stopper, somebody that's not light in the butt. You know what I mean? You could. I guess you could probably use a power rusher, but you're not gonna want a speed rusher. You're gonna want somebody that's not light in the butt because when on run downs, you want them to be able to come in and get a stop or be heavy enough to stop the run or match up well against the run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you run a 4-3, then you can use the power rusher or the speed rushers because you still got two interior linemen. You know what I mean? So it depends on what you want to do and what you want to run. You know, but it's just it's a lot of different nuances in the game, and a lot of these guys don't understand what they are and what they're for. You know, they think, oh, I'm gonna give me a quick jump. You got a quick jump, but what are you quick jumping into? If I'm running the ball, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I got abilities, but they're not working. Like you got the
Yeah.
wrong abilities. We talked about. Remember them even in my game this year. After my game, when I was saying, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, it's not working. You're like, hey, well, did you look at did you look at your impact blocking or your linemen on these guys on the interior? And I'm like, nah, I went and look. I said, oh, that's why they sucking it. The impact blocking suck. That's why I'm not pancaking nobody. So let me go find some dudes with some impact blocking that's on my roster and put those guys in. And things started to change a little bit, you know.
So let me ask you this. So for those people that are listening, they're taking notes, they're writing everything
And
down.
you see what Terrell's doing? Said right there. He said
Oh yeah.
dummy proof. Said your coach, playbook, and the game will put
Yep.
players that fit the scheme in the recommended list. See, so that's
Yeah.
all it
Yeah.
is, man.
But when okay, let's say I'm Michigan, right? And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna listen to you, B James.
A lot of these guys. Let me tell
What
you
is
what a
the
lot of these
best
dudes
time to
do.
get rid of your what is the best time to get rid of your coach? Your offensive and defensive coordinators. When is the best time to do all of these things that you're talking about during the off season
Right now,
to get ready?
right now. Now, if you got a coach that you need to get rid of, now is the time to do it. Right now. After Blaze advances, you won't be able to do it no more. So if you want to get rid of a coach and try to bring in some new talent to your program, maybe a player with a better grade, a coach with a better grade or things like that, you want to see what's out there, you may risk losing a coach, but you got an opportunity to actually go out and get another coach that may be a better fit for your team, you know? So that's what it comes down to. You want to get, like, say, for instance, you got a coach that don't fit your scheme. He's running maybe a what's the 3-3-5 or the 4-2, whatever that is,
Yeah.
defense, and you want to run a 4-3 or you want to run a 3-4, you can get rid of that coach now, bring in a coach, and then you'll have a better chance of getting the players that fit that scheme. So that's all I'm saying. Like use what's available to you to your benefit. A lot of these guys, like I said, a lot of these guys don't do it. They don't do it. They don't take advantage of what's available to them, and they cry about it. Then they cry. And it ain't that they crying because it's a problem. They're crying because they think they know better when they don't. So that's all it is. I'm saying now, It's no excuse. We give you guys the game. We give you guys the top secret stuff. Use it. And it's not even like top secret stuff. It's just like some of it's just common sense. Like if you don't recruit, your team's not gonna get better. You can say, "Oh, I play my games." A lot of guys get on, play their game, and get up. They don't do the recruitment, So and then they just suffer. But I can tell you right now, like I said, we go to top classes, and you can tell right here. This tells it all. Auburn, Michigan, Florida State, UCLA, Utah, North Carolina, Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? Arkansas, Notre Dame. Let's see who else. Let's see. Oh, Louisville. I would say if you don't have at least 7 committed players by now, you're not doing your job. You're not recruiting right. You're not recruiting right. If you don't have at least, honestly, you should have 10. 10 by the end of the season. A minimum of 10 players by the end of the season. If you got less than 10, I don't know what to tell you. And I think what guys think is that they think that, oh, I'm recruiting, I got 5 stars coming in, and those guys are gonna be instant plug and play players. Keep in mind, when you get a 5-star, he might be 81 overall, 82. But it's not this year he's gonna break out. It'll be the next year or the year after when when he gets to training and all that stuff, and he benefits from the training, and his dev trait is actually able to kick in if he has superstar development trait or impact player. Those things make a difference. So you want to make sure you check those things too on your players. So, but that's that, man. That's that.
Okay.
I think we shared enough. We got, like I said, we got Dimes and Memphis Doug at between 6 and 6:30 Pacific. I think 9 and 9:30, and we got Blaze and TG in the conference championship. And we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of good action tonight. We're lucky we get to switch back and forth.
Yeah,
And we're gonna be bringing it to everybody live. So definitely don't want to miss out on the action. Because of the game with Memphis Doug and Dimes, we're not going to be able to see Woody and Dimes tonight. We'll see them tomorrow.
Yeah, that game be tomorrow.
But also after that Memphis Doug and Dimes game is being played, when are we getting the PS5 national championship game?
It's a possibility we may get it tonight. It's a possibility we may get it tomorrow. Okay. Either way, we're gonna get it. So we'll just make sure we do what we gotta do to make sure we get it.
Works for me.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna take a brief intermission, and we'll be back at 6:00 for the games. So make sure you guys keep it locked. We'll see you guys soon. And here's a word from VTech.
What's going on? It's your boy VTech. Last night, but today I'm watching Underground Sports Gaming.